questions with Nate Chappell, Finn Hammond, and Johnny Fisher.
There we go. So the way the several questions work is that basically we found a machine in the woods called the Questionator 5000 that was evidently engineered to generate infinite, very silly questions, and Johnny, Finn, and I have dedicated our lives to answering them all one by one by one. And we've got a special treat today because Finn told us right before we recorded that he had a dream about us last night and made some heavy breathing noises. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see what this is all about. Over to you, Finn.
Okay. Hey, guys, with the dream report. This is the dream team over here. Okay, so I wasn't able to camp with you guys recently for the Fringe Festival, but I did have a bunch of stress dreams while I had the novel coronavirus, and one of them was
not so novel anymore, is it really?
No,
I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more than it's welcome, definitely for me. So I had this dream. It was like a post-apocalyptic scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was with you guys, and we went into an abandoned McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
And I started to
good call.
And I was like, this is fun, and started gathering a bunch of stuff. And there was this really strange part of the dream where you guys confronted me, and we were like, listen, Finn, you're taking too much of the stuff and you need to share it.
Was it like fruit pies?
It was like, I was taking
fries.
a lot of collectible cups.
Mm-hmm.
With the hamburger on it, and
that makes sense.
Grimace, holding an Olympic torch or something. And at first you confronted me, and at first I was defensive because I was like, what are you talking about? Why do you need all this stuff? And then I came to my senses in the dream and I was like, okay, you know what? You're right. And so we shared all the collectible McDonald's stuff.
Oh, so we were calling you out for not letting us have them?
I was taking too much of it.
You were hoarding.
You got all
the
cool Happy Meal toys.
Exactly. But you guys presented it as if it was like life or death. It was like a survival thing.
Well, if it's post-apocalyptic, I guess it sort of is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, how important is the having a glass with Ronald McDonald on it?
Trade and barter,
Yeah, it's pretty
really important.
That's
also,
true.
you got to drink. You have to drink liquids out of something. You got to put them in something. You got to pee in something and poop in something.
That's right.
Yeah, got to eat out of something.
You got to eat out of something.
All right.
So you can see why you need more than one, I guess, is what we're getting at.
Okay.
We learned our lesson last apocalypse when we all got, I don't know, I was trying to think of what gross disease you would get from eating your own poop, but I really don't know. Or each other's.
No, you guys are right.
Yeah, we did go camping, Johnny and I did, and so a few weeks ago, we don't have a way to interface with the Questionator exactly. We don't know, there's no keyboard or anything. So it's a little bit harder than just how Chat GPT or whatever you can just type a prompt into. So what I did is I just went out there because I wanted some camping questions ahead of our camping trip, and I just shouted camping at the Questionator. And it took a while, but we got some camping questions. Unfortunately, they were a little late. So, but this will be a nice look back at our camping trips, so Finn can feel really left out because he didn't get to go. We still set up his tent. We still we set a little dish of warm water next where we would have put your hand in, so you would have peed your pants, and then we actually peed right in the middle of your sleeping bag and pretended like it was your pee.
Yeah. Did you do it to a raccoon in the daytime?
Yeah. Put his little paw in a warm glass of water. We didn't see many raccoons, did we?
No, we didn't see any. We saw some footprints.
Oh, yeah, we did. We heard some. I think we heard some raccoons yelling.
Yeah, at one point.
Yelling.
They're pretty elusive. A lot of chipmunks.
Chipmunks climbing trees and stuff. It was pretty great. You can go to our Instagram page and check out the video. We don't have an Instagram page, but if we did, you could. You could come over to my house and I'll show you. It's on my phone. So let's get to the questions. Camping edition. Several questions. Here we go.
What makes a good campsite?
Hmm.
Are good.
A little bit away from people, or a lot away from people.
Hmm.
I would say probably makes perfect campsite. Number one, if there's
Hmm.
multiple factors, then a little bit of flat ground, clear area, but also still I like some trees, but not like overhanging.
Hmm.
Um,
Why do you like it overhanging?
well,
Wait,
because I
say
mean,
that.
then they drop stuff onto your tent, like
Spiders.
spiders and
Oh,
other
man.
bugs, and then
Yeah.
it also blocks the sky if you ever do want to see that.
Hmm.
But it provides shade though if it's around, which I like, because like if you have nothing but clear area and it's sunny, like that just yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
we had
no
two sites on this trip. One was supposed to be Finn's site. That's the one where we set up your tent and peed on
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
And
And
but
I got my
also,
own site
yeah,
because
but
you
Johnny,
guys agreed I was annoying last time.
yeah, we agreed that you were too lame,
Yeah.
and so you should have your own site.
Yeah.
And that would have been the lame site. That was the lame site.
It was a landslide.
We had two sites.
Mhm.
The one that I picked, the extra one I picked up kind of last minute, ended up being the really good site.
It
And I
was.
agree with what you've said so far. I would also add, oh yeah, because Johnny's was full. The one where his tent was full sun,
Yeah,
no
no
shade at
shade.
all, really. And that one was
Mm.
very, very hot. And ours was the one that we spent most of our time in was pretty chill. It was nice and cool and had
Hmm.
more tree cover. It was much further back off the road too. There was not, it was a little further to the next site too. When Johnny's neighbors showed up the second
Yeah,
night,
like
they were like
the tent was like
practically
right.
in his campsite.
Yeah.
And they were their favorite thing, their idea of a good campsite was a bright light. So that was nice for John.
Let's just leave a bright light on all night. Is what
Mhm.
they love it,
Yeah.
you know.
Because they
Well,
love it.
they left the light on for you.
Yeah, they're
Did.
just like
Motels,
6 or 8, super eight.
eight, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Bodette.
Did they party all night or is it just,
I mean, till 10, and then they quieted down. But they left their light on regardless. No matter
Hmm.
what they were doing, there's that light was going. Even during the day, I think the light was could be mistaken.
You could be. Um, what else? Good campfire ring is good. Ideally, they
Mm.
have these at
Mhm.
some state parks. They have these grates that you can swivel off of the fire pit. So
Oh,
it's like you can lift it all the way off and it swivels and opens almost so that you
that
can lay
seems
it
pretty
behind
cool.
off of the thing and
Mm.
build a fire. And then instead of having to like try to build a fire shoved underneath that little
Yeah, the little
grate part, and then when you're
recess.
done cooking too, then you're like, well, now I got this weird fire over here under this
Gotta,
grate.
let's pull it back out. And
And then you burn your legs off.
yeah, they're hard to
Sucks.
grow back.
Yeah, I could do it, but they're hard. It's hard.
Mhm.
Fit anything else for perfect campsite?
well, let's see.
Hammock.
Uh, well, you gotta, let's see. You talked about fire stuff. I feel like, okay, it's different in different regions. If it's really hot, like it was for you guys, the direct sunlight thing is important. Do you feel like if you got, was it far enough away from everything that you would get like a clear view of the night sky? Did you?
Yeah, I
Mm,
think so.
yeah. Hmm.
Except if
Yeah.
you weren't at Johnny's site.
Yeah, because the bright
Okay.
light of my neighbors.
Johnny did not. Johnny wasn't allowed to see the night sky.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
No, I think we could,
And
right?
Yeah, it was
um,
just like it was a full moon, so it was tough to, or close to a full moon, so it was very bright
so
regardless.
you're a werewolf, and that was like
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it was like
yeah.
it's hard to remember
hard.
because we were both
Mhm.
werewolves and
That's right.
stealing chickens and stuff or whatever we do. And like with the stress of doing the shows too, it's just like a lot of executive function lift combined with being a werewolf. It's just like kind of
Oh
like
yeah,
switching
for
back
sure.
and
Yeah.
forth between
Mhm.
like creative and like meeting new people and then,
Bloodthirst.
stealing bloodthirsty and stealing chickens and
Yes.
stuff. What we were doing, we were chasing foxes into
You
the
were chasing the
chicken into the
foxes.
chicken houses. So then we'd get
Mm.
both. Get
Oh,
yourself a
interesting.
meal comprised of both. That's what they say. That's that
You
meme.
guys are some high functioning werewolves.
Thank you.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, that's it's low support needs is the what you're supposed to say now.
I see. I see.
Hmm. Should we do the next question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the most valuable camping tool?
Johnny,
Mhm.
that's my favorite camping tool.
Oh,
You're a tool, and I went
Uh,
camping with you, but I liked it
mhm,
apparently. You're my favorite.
I
Uh,
made some eggs. No, wait, what I make? Rice and beans.
rice and beans. You're a tool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that was the joke. It wasn't about how
Okay.
useful you were. It was the joke
Oh,
was that you're a
Look
tool.
at this
oh, I know.
tool
I see. I see.
Um,
making eggs.
uh, no, I think I made eggs. Thanks. Johnny just
Yeah.
took that
Yeah, I
accomplishment away
just
from
don't.
me. Um, I would say, I mean, I think a headlamp is extremely important.
Mm,
If you consider
hmm.
that a tool, which I do, a headlamp is pretty important. Johnny didn't bring his,
Yeah, no, I totally forgot it. Any
and
source
then,
of light. I
but
was
he
like, oh,
borrowed mine and then broke it. He was like, you know what? I don't need this stupid strap,
Yeah, that's
and he
right.
just ripped it off of there and just carried it around on his hat, holding it on his hat like an idiot.
Hmm.
Is
Um,
this true? This really happened.
well,
For the most
it just
part.
fell apart. More like it fell apart. It was already broken, and I gave it to him and forgot that it was broken. So when it fell apart, he felt like it was his fault, and I let him
Oh,
believe it.
nice. Nice.
Uh, so that's important at nighttime, especially. I really do like to have a. I have like a Bowie knife type thing, like a camping knife. That's nice for
Mm-hmm.
quartering wood, which I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, you did a fine job of that.
With a knife?
And that was
Yeah,
not
I
what I
take
was
this.
expecting to when you did it. And I was like, that's really smart.
Yeah, my friend Matt taught me that. So it's
Mm.
like you take a bigger piece, like when you buy wood, it's like usually kind of big blocks of wood, kind of bigger,
Big
fatter logs,
chunks.
big chunks that don't like when you don't have much of a fire going, you can't just put them in, because they don't have
Hmm.
enough exposed wood, basically.
Yeah.
And our camping trip had plenty of exposed wood, and we wanted to make sure since Finn wasn't going to be there, we were kind of counting on him for that. That was his department, but.
That was going to
So what
expose a
you
lot of
do is
wood.
you take the big knife and you put it on top of you stand up a log and you put it on top of the log and then you take another log and you pound on the top of the knife and like split the wood
Oh,
Into the smaller
into
pieces.
smaller pieces that have more like jangly, exposed, splintery wood that will catch on fire more easily. So then you have like another layer between your kindling
oh,
and small stuff and your big logs, so you can build the intermediate fire well.
that's amazing.
Not have to
Yeah,
like go
that
gather. Because what'll happen if you try to gather a lot of wood that size out in the camping, first of all, it sucks especially if there's 100,000 spiders in the woods,
200,000
100
spiders.
million spiders. Um, and also like that stuff is always is small and has bark on it. So if you put it in the fire, it's like not very fun to look at. It just kind of makes a, a hot house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, bark. What does bark do?
Well, it's just like it doesn't burn as
Smokes.
well. It's kind of smokes and it doesn't
Yeah.
burn it big. It just
Smolders.
smolders and goes away, and then the wood will catch fire eventually, but it's still not like a big flame on top of the stuff. So
I
like
see.
if the exposed wood makes for a better flame, better fire
Hmm.
basically for roasting marshmallows. And what we did was we set up a roasted marshmallow stand.
Hmm.
It was super inefficient
Mm.
because we had to keep roasting them because they're only good for a couple of seconds and people want them right away. So we'd try to stay ahead of the demand.
Yeah.
We'd roast a
Roast it,
marshmallow,
throw it out there.
stand
Like, get your
there,
marshmallow.
and then nobody was there.
Yeah. I was like, do you
Uh,
want this one? I
and
was
we
like,
only
no.
we only took cash and didn't have change. So
Hmm.
now,
That's
next time, I
right.
think we could make some changes
And
to
you
the.
charged a
Yeah.
weird price, like a
Yeah.
weird.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it
It
was
was
like
like,
55 cents, and I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
why.
yeah. What and
Um,
tax? Like what?
yeah, and,
yeah,
and then so we were like, well, you got to get at least two, and then but they still didn't have, so it's just
yeah. It was like two for
I
a dollar
figured so.
ten. We said,
Hmm.
or like I think we took it down to $1.05 if you bought two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you took off 5 cents.
Which actually ended up making the change part harder. Now that I think about it, I think that was our
Mhm.
problem. That was one of our problems.
And you charge for the stick, which there's a stick
Yeah,
fee.
and we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't like.
Oh, you want the stick? That's when they
We
grab
didn't
it.
start a fire before we started this, and that kind of like caused some issues as well. Like at first, it was like a lot of people were there,
Yeah, we had a good
but
gathering.
we had a good because we had a bit soft opening. We called it like
Mhm.
because like marshmallows are soft,
Uh-huh.
and the but then it didn't. But then we didn't have any marshmallows, and we were like, all right, we'll be just stay here. We'll be back in like 20 to 25 minutes. We got to get
Yeah,
some
yeah.
good coals going and find the sticks. And then when we came back, we had 45 marshmallows, all roasted, and they were gone. Everybody was
Yeah.
gone.
Oh
Mhm.
my.
It was past quiet. It was past quiet time by then. So, and
Jeez.
marshmallows are notoriously loud, noisy
Yeah.
foods,
Yeah.
as you know.
Yeah.
Pop,
So
pop, pop. Oh,
I
it's
think
done.
Johnny went on a real fucking tirade about marshmallows. Actually, I asked him if he liked roasted marshmallows, and it was like half an hour of him just saying "f this, f that." It gets on your fingers. F this, f that.
Is that
Sticky.
true, Johnny?
This is a
Sticky.
S word, piece of monkey S words.
I
Mhm.
see it as a reward for doing all the other stuff you have to do.
Mhm.
Like you have to, if you have to construct a tent,
Here's a
it's like,
reward.
well, at least I'll get
You're
a
gonna have
We
to
brought
be
marshmallow.
one.
covered in dirt for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, here's your
Yeah.
reward.
Yeah.
Your
You're gonna
beard's
stick to
gonna
everything.
be weird.
Yeah, ants are gonna crawl on you at night and bite you.
Mhm.
What what is the reward?
The
Sorry to
reward
ask.
of what? Of camping?
Of camping.
Oh,
Camping, I think.
yeah, camping.
But what aspect of it?
I
Being
mean,
outside, the change of pace, changing your routine, uh,
yeah.
having to do
Mhm.
a bunch of work that is immediately useful
Mhm.
and direct. I think that's what I like about it, at least, is like all
Could,
these tasks are something you can use right away. You have to do. They're not
mhm.
like filling out of paperwork for your kids' swimming lessons, reimbursement or something. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Communing
You
with
can see
nature.
it actually
Oh,
play out.
communing with nature, sure. I mean, that is
Also,
true.
yeah, maybe like having to do that. I agree that there's something about that. And I can see why you guys would like it, especially. It's like using all your executive functions to build a campsite and seeing, like stuff you don't normally need. You don't usually exercise because you know where your food is being kept and you know where
Mhm.
you're going to sleep. It's already established. So I don't know.
I guess,
I
yes.
s-
I think the reward is, yeah, there's all sorts of rewards of accomplishments. You get all these accomplishments.
Yeah, we got to hang some food and garbage in a tree. That was
Hmm.
fun. I got it on
okay.
one try.
Yeah,
One try. Only took
mhm,
you one try to put garbage in a tree.
yeah.
Did.
Moving on.
What's the worst part about camping?
You know what the worst part about camping is?
What?
All the dang dirt everywhere.
Mhm. You don't like
Mhm.
dirt?
Mhm.
No.
What if you camped on
Or,
like an iceberg?
Yeah.
oh,
What if
that
you did
sounds
some
fun.
winter camping?
Yeah, winter camping.
Oh, I've never done that. That sounds awful, though.
It's a
It's
whole.
like
It's a whole
you're out in
other
the
set
cold.
of. Yeah, it's a whole other set of puzzles to solve.
Hmm.
That feels like there's almost no reward. What do you like?
It's
Do
the
you have a
accomplishment.
campfire?
Yeah, you have a camp. Yeah,
Okay.
you have to like a lot of campfire.
Yeah.
That's like
And then
almost the whole point. That
I
you because you
see.
have to be there because otherwise because you have to like warm up your gear and dry out your shit all the time and
Ah,
yeah no it's winter camping sucks. I don't enjoy that
okay,
very
okay.
much. I mean there was something about the accomplishment that couple times that I did it, but my buddy had a lot of cool gear that was helpful, but I wouldn't do it myself without some very special gear.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that would suck. But what's the worst part? Oh, I don't like putting a tent back in its thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say putting stuff away in general
Yeah.
Yeah.
sucks because then also packing and setting stuff up you're at the beginning and so there's it's fun and there's stuff to do. And sometimes when you're packing it up, it's wet too. And no matter what, there's like a slug on it, or there's like at least you're packing up a lot of spiders, which is just kind of a weird feeling for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Word.
Uh, and then just like trying to hard like shift back into your life.
Camping's pretty difficult sometimes. Depends on on where you go. You can go to like one of those very easy campsites with the anemones everywhere, water's right there and showers and bathrooms and stuff like that. Or you
What
can
was
go
it? Oh,
camping.
amenities. They said
Amenities.
anemones. And
I
then
might have
like sea
anemones.
anemones.
Hmm.
Is that
Under
what they
the
said?
ocean.
Sea anemones. Sea
Anemones.
anemones. Yeah. Sea
Yeah.
anemones?
Sea
Anemones.
enemies?
Anemones. Amenities.
Amenities. Amenities. Anemones.
Yeah, sea and amenities.
Sea amenities. uh, so, where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Camping's
Some
difficult, basically.
camping. What?
So the worst part about camping is the fact that it's difficult, maybe. Um,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. The worst part about camping is the
like what?
difficulty of it.
What part of it? All of it?
Yeah, I mean, the logistics. I mean, first off, just trying to find a campsite in Wisconsin. Like, was it like freaking 9 months out or something? Just trying to get into a
11
state park.
months to a state park on a weekend, especially
it's
up there. But
insane.
so we went county park.
Yeah,
That thing was full though, right?
it was. It was 100%. Oh, well, or was it?
Or was it Camp Post?
Yeah,
They saw a
Post.
full sign, and then there's a couple sites that were not booked. So
Not so full. I mean, if you walked in, you could have gotten a campsite, but they would have said, "No, I'm sorry, but we're full."
yeah,
And
they
that's
would have
not
been
true.
lying, lying
Mhm.
sacks of shit.
Just so you guys know out there.
They had vending machines. What's the worst part about camping? Yeah,
Bugs.
for me, it's just packing it up.
No
And the
packing it up.
bugs. Okay, bugs and packing it up.
Bugs kind of suck. I mean, especially if you don't
I
spray yourself
really
with
don't.
DEET.
I really don't enjoy packing it up. The more I think about it, my last day is always get the fuck out as quickly as possible because I will not enjoy any time before I leave because I
Yeah.
know that I have to do this annoying
It's true.
packing
And then
up task.
there's like paranoia of like leaving stuff too. Like, oh
Uh-huh.
fuck, if I forgot something here, that'd be annoying. Like a phone charger. Like, why
And
do
then
you have that?
like towards the end, I don't know, it does feel like moving, when you're moving and you think you're almost done and then all of a sudden you've got all this random shit everywhere and
Yeah.
like so many more boxes shoved into a closet or whatever that you forgot about, or like you move your bed and they're like, oh no, there's all this stuff under here that I forgot about. It feels kind of like that where you're like packing up and you're doing pretty well, making good progress, but then it's like you look around and there's just shit laying everywhere.
Yeah. And it's never packed as nice as you did on the way out.
Yeah.
Like it's just like haphazard. Like how did I get all this shit in here to begin with?
I did pretty good this time around just because I swear to God, every time it rains, like almost every time I'm packing up there will be some rain like that night, so that just
Yeah.
everything's kind of wet.
Wet, yeah.
Or it'll be like super dewy, like one super dewy day, so that just everything's fucking wet. So then it's also annoying to be like packing it up, knowing that you're gonna have to set it up again when you get home.
That's true.
All right, I just get so emotional. It's so difficult. You're right, Johnny. That is the worst part. All right. Well, I think we've answered all these questions today. I think we had a good time camping. I think we had a good time talking today. Johnny, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
I had a good time too. What about you, Finn? Well, that's all the time we have for today. That's all the questions we have for today. How do I end the show? Yeah, that's all the questions for today. Now get out there, ask questions, be curious, not furious. And always remember, you and only you can help prevent unsafe forest fires. For Johnny Salami and Finny Spinny Pumpkin Pants, I'm Nasty Apple, and this is Several Questions.
Thank you for listening to Several Questions, a production of Wolf Out Radio. Click on the link in the show notes for more Wolf Out shows.